definitely was like D.O.C. I'm just saying, man. Like you know, I'm no pun intended. You blew everybody's mind.
Yeah,
Hey,
no doubt, no doubt. Well,
Real.
yeah, man. Yeah, that's a fact. I guess I'll just say it real quick. I don't know if you remember, Doc, but when you came to New York for the screening at Tribeca last year, we met. And man, I gave you like this big ass hug, man. It was like, yo, I've been waiting 30 something years for this moment. It was just,
I got one for
yo,
you too before I drop off because Chuck's gonna do the interview. But 97, maybe early 98, you was at the Gavin convention was in San Francisco, and there was a party, and there was a big party, and I saw you walking through the crowd. I tell the story a lot too, and I said, Will I Am, the Black Eyed Peas, they was all there, but nobody, they hadn't blown up yet or anything like that. And I saw you walk through the crowd, rolled up on you, and I just said, "Yo, D.O.C. I go by the name of Grouchy Greg. I own a website called AllHipHop, and we're gonna blow up." And I just kept moving through the crowd. That was it. I'm sure you don't remember, but
of course not.
I definitely did that. I was like, "All hip hop. Remember all hip hop."
I'm glad
that's
you said it.
that's dope.
Yeah.
I'm out, man. Peace.
That's what's up.
God
That's what's
bless,
up.
man. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
definitely. Salute, salute. Appreciate your time, man. Definitely. I know you're a busy man, but yeah, it's been a minute. So I guess Greg we'll just I know, we got about an hour or so. So I'll let Greg just run that intro and then we'll just get going.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Justin too. Yeah.
Good guy.
What's going on, world? It's your man Chuck Creekmur, aka Jigsaw. All hip hop's in the building with none other than one of the legends. I mean, just an incredible lyricist, incredible writer, icon to the culture, the D.O.C. What's going on, brother?
Oh, it's all love. All hip hop is
Yeah.
all love.
Man, thanks for taking time out your day, man. I just want to say, we just got off with my business partner, Greg, Grouchy Greg, and we just sang your praises, man. And I just want you, I mean, you know this already, but I'm gonna just say it for the record. Man, you got a lot of love out here, man. Like so many people love and respect you and really are just interested in everything about you, really. It's kind of crazy, man. I just told everybody on social media that I was interviewing you and just asked people, what should I ask you, man? I got so many questions, man. So I don't want to delay too much time, but I just wanted you to know, if you didn't, which you do, that you got a lot of love from everywhere, by the way.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. God blesses us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I understand where it came from, who it's coming from, and I'm thankful and grateful, bro. I don't take none of it for granted.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So I'm gonna start this off with the first question because it's the one that has been asked the most. It just kept coming up over and over and over and over. And the question is, will you, consider using AI to uh make your return to the culture with your old voice, I should say.
Well, I never left,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So return is sort of a misnomer because I've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
You people, you know, but in terms of making a rap record
Mm-hmm.
using artificial intelligence, it's a lot of people talking to me about that, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's cool, and I'm with that, you know. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. I think if you're not infringing on anybody's uh, person, or you're
Mm-hmm.
not harming anybody, and it can help somebody uh, make a way for their family, then you should do it.
Yeah.
But where I'm concerned is, I just made a film. You just alluded to it a little while ago.
Uh-huh.
That I'm trying to get out there in the right light. You know, that's where my mind is at. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the time to be thinking about AI right now to give it all that I could give it,
Yeah.
because everything that I've heard
Mm-hmm.
AI do,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening with two ears, right? Like I'm an artist.
Yeah.
And so I'm always in search of perfection in my art.
Mm-hmm.
I've yet to hear AI sound like someone I would say that's a real person. In other words, it all sounds mechanical
Mm-hmm.
because the machine can't. The subtle deliveries, the subtleties in delivery that
Mm-hmm.
a human gives, a machine can't understand yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order for AI to be able to make what I want, AI is going to have to go to D.O.C. school and learn how to do this shit that we do. You
Yeah.
can't just type it in and it come out just
Right.
because it sounds like it. It's not going to mean what I said when I said it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So they still got a ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be willing to help,
Yeah.
push that technology forward. But like I said, I really have my mind on getting this film out, and it's proving to be uh, not as easy as I thought
Mm-hmm.
it would be, considering uh, uh, the material, how good the story is, and the story behind it.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the people that are in the movie.
Yeah.
But that's just the nature of the business that
Yeah.
we've chosen, and I'm no longer that 21-year-old kid that allows the business to happen around him. Now
Yeah.
I'm a 55-year-old man that does his business.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, just one quick word on AI. If I'm not mistaken, by the way, just a point of clarification, it doesn't, you would be saying the rhymes, but there would be a filter on your voice, your actual voice. So it wouldn't be a robot.
As
Just
I, as I understand it, and let me clarify.
okay.
As I understand it, there's a couple ways you can do it. I could rap in, and when what comes out,
Right.
the machine is my old voice.
Yeah.
What I mean was, what I rap in, when I say it a certain way, I know what I'm doing. The
Gotcha.
machine doesn't. So it's gonna spit back the sound, just the sound. You can't spit back the interpretation of
Got you.
what the intent is.
Right.
It doesn't understand the intent yet.
Got it.
And
Got it.
so if I say A, it might say A, but it wouldn't feel like that.
Right.
You know,
Got you.
because it don't know what I mean.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So they got a ways to go,
Yeah.
at least from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
that all from watching it on the internet. When you see those AI pictures come up and they're talking to you,
Mm-hmm.
even that talking sounds robotic because
Mm-hmm.
it's just saying the words. It's not
Uh-huh.
talking to you.
I
You know,
agree. I agree.
the same as this conversation we're having. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
got you. On the movie, first of all, I love the movie. You got, a whole cast of people from Dre to Eminem, uh, Erica Badu, and also shows you as a human being in the community and all the love you receive, your life, your worries, and the thread is, you getting back your voice. Have you run into well, I read some things about the business side of it and the maybe the creators of the doc. Are there issues with that?
No.
Okay,
It's just all distribution,
got you.
and making the right decision and creating the right partnership
Okay,
with someone who sees in the film what I see,
okay,
and sees the value in it, not just as a theatrical expression, but as a point of being able to keep one's sanity in the midst of tragedy, and that's just not a rapper. That's anybody, and that doesn't have a skin pigmentation to it. That's
mhm,
any human being that is in the middle of hell. This film shows you that it's in while you're in the middle of hell. is when you're building for your revelation. So don't get lost in being in hell. Just remember, there's another side to that.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever feel lost in the midst of all that, all the tragedy? I mean, all the things that were happening. I mean, that was an incredibly transformative period of time, you know, across the board. And for you to have your personal stuff layered into that, almost seems like it could just be a blur, or just, you know, you could get caught up or even not realize what's happening to you at that time, in that moment. Did you ever feel that way?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You know, it's a Shakespearean
Mm,
sort of tale for
yeah,
sure. You
yeah,
know, and uh, the crazy part is I was in the middle of so much success,
yeah.
but just dying on the inside. You know, because
Mm,
even though I was putting so much effort into it and moving so many bricks and doing so many things, it wasn't my success. It was
mm,
everybody else's, you know,
right.
and that shit was really difficult for me, especially not being from California and having to exist in that space with all those dynamics going on that I didn't relate to. You
Right.
know, like the film said, I'm just a good kid. I was raised up
Mhm, mhm,
in the church, so to speak.
mhm,
So I wasn't a thug guy. So to
yeah,
have to exist in the middle of that world with all of that death and destruction and turmoil was really hard, you know.
yeah,
But like I said, everything happens for a purpose, and that was where God needed me to be in
yeah,
order to suck up that shit, in order to be able to have these lessons and these blessings to give now to these young youngsters that are coming up in this space today. You
yeah,
know, these kids out here in this world that really feel like that's the path that you have to take in order to be a winner in this space, and that's just bullshit. You know,
yeah,
it's just blatantly untrue. You know, most of the guys that you see that are on top of this in this space now are street guys, and they all come from that space, and everybody looks at it like that's the road that you take,
mhm,
but that's just some bullshit. And
yeah,
I know that there are other powers that play to make these young folks believe that that's the road you take, but I'm here to tell you that's some bullshit. It's
yeah,
not, you know.
yeah.
And if you'd like, if you'll allow me to, I could show you, um, not virtue of what I think, but by virtue of what I know, the path that I walk. What's the proper way to do this thing?
Mm, mm. I know you work with kids. Is it hard to get them to hear you? Is it hard to get them to listen?
No, bro. Surprisingly, uh, these kids got a lot of love and respect. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know where the hell they get it from, but you know,
Right.
I take it. They listen.
Yeah.
They're open. They just like Snoop was. You know, when he was 17, 18, 19, he was a street guy, but he knew the cachet, and he knew my past, and he
Yeah.
was open to the ideas of how I could help him out. A lot of these kids are the same way,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
and so I'm trying to build a machine to help them to
Yeah.
do more, to build more Snoop Dogs if I can.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. I mean, you were one of his mentors. What do you think about the ownership switch with Death Row?
I'm so excited for the dog, man. He's so deserving of it.
Mhm.
He's a great human being. He's a fantastic family man, a great father. And I know what he wants for his kids,
Yeah.
especially coming from where he came from. And
Right.
so he's trying to, in his own way, push that agenda. And I'm
Mhm.
trying to be there for him to help in any way I possibly can. I mean, it's amazing that you can go from, 21st Street in Long Beach to on set with Martha cooking.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's crazy.
Like that's what I'm trying to show these kids.
Yeah.
That is the transition that's possible. But
Right.
you'll never make it to that if you're walking around with these 6 shooters in your pocket, like that's gonna be the key to you making money. In fact, that's how you're gonna be able to make a little change, and they're gonna come take it back, and then they'll let you back out to do that all over again, and you'll repeat that cycle for the better part of the good years of your life if you don't get your shit together.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Somebody asked me to ask you, are there any old songs in the vault? Does Dr. Dre have any D.O.C. songs laying around that haven't been released?
There are no old D.O.C. songs that are laying around because I only did 15 songs in my whole life with that old voice.
Right.
And he did 14 of them.
Right.
And uh, uh, 12 of them came out on No One Could Do It Better, and the other ones came out on N.W.A. and the Posse. So it's all out there. However, that said, I have recently come in contact with all of my old masters. So I haven't had a chance to listen to any of that stuff, but there's no telling,
Yeah.
what's on those tapes.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm excited to be able to get my hands on them and see.
Nice. Okay. Well, we'll wait and see.
That's all about that AI thing, right?
Yeah.
When they started talking to me about it, I started looking for the material that I would need to conjure up this old D.O.C., which is all those old songs. Because if you're going to use AI, you're going to need that full gambit of what that voice representation sounded like. Otherwise, you're going to have to write, if you're going to do a song, you have to write the exact same type song that you're taking the voice from in order for it to sound realistic, right? Those are small things that I'm not sure whether or not those folks up there in those tech companies have the wherewithal to really understand, So I understand why they're reaching out to me, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see your pen is intact. You did that new song with the co-defendants, which was kind of your first, vocal performance in a long time since the Helter Skelter? Is that accurate?
Since Deuce,
Yeah.
that would be almost about 20-some years.
Right. Right.
I mean, but I write raps all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I've not, because I'm a writer. That's what I do. I don't write to get money. I write because I like doing it. I get joy from it.
Gotcha.
When you start writing, like real writers know,
Yeah.
when you start writing a song, 9 times out of 10, you have no idea where it's going, where it's going to come from, where it's going to go. It just begins to piece itself together. And when those lines come that connect the dots like Legos, like I told you in the movie, it's just a feeling. You go, wow. And G.O.D. is in what you're doing, because there's no way you just could have connected that. I just did another song with the co-defendants a week ago. And there's a line in the song where I said it's like Nevermind mixed with some maggot brain. And I said, it's like Nevermind, mixed with some maggot brain. So the way I delivered that, the AI wouldn't know to go Nevermind. He wouldn't know I'm saying, he'd say Nevermind. But when I say it, I want folks to be like, I'm saying Nevermind as if it's passe.
Right.
Mixed with maggot brain,
Right.
It's for lack of a better way of putting it, that particular song that I'm doing with those guys is like Nirvana mixed with Parliament Funkadelic, is what I'm trying to tell the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what's up. Yo, that's crazy. But do you have a special relationship with them? I'm not gonna lie, I'd never heard of the co-defendants, but they seem to be a hot group. I'd never heard of them until you rapped with them.
So the guy's name that put that band together, his name is Fat Mike, and he's a part of a band called No Effects. And No Effects is a punk band that's been around, You know, they are one of the old school gods of that music. You know,
Okay.
And I did some of my documentary in his house, and I
Okay.
met the guy, and he's funny. He's just funny as fuck. He walks
Yeah.
around with blue hair and shit,
Yeah.
telling jokes and shit, and he reminds me of Benny Hill. You know, like I just thought he was really funny, and he said we should do some music, and I said okay,
Yeah.
and he called me months later and said I got the song, Doc, and he let me hear the song. He let me hear his guys, and it sounded good, you know, and if it sound good, then that's something I can lend myself to. Come to
Yeah.
find out that Mike is a really excellent producer
Okay.
in that genre. And so I laid the verse down. He was like, oh my God, I love it. And I found out that the punk rock world know who D.O.C is. I
Yeah.
didn't know that, you know.
Well,
I went,
you collaborated with Jelly. What's how you say his last name on the Helter Skelter album? The punk rock dude.
Jelly Roll.
Jelly. Hold on. You know who? Hold on. Hold on. I have to look it up real quick. But his name. He did a He worked with Ice-T before. Um. You know what I'm talking about
Is
when
he
he
a
says
producer?
he said the it's martial law now. Close your windows. Close your.
Oh, you talking
Close.
about yeah, that's on the Ice-T's record now.
Yeah.
That was on the Helter Skelter record. And,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and Erotic D found
Right.
that sample and used it.
Oh, Roddy did. Got you. Got you. Yeah. Well, I guess because you guys sampled it, but the point I'm getting at is that if somebody knew you worked with him, they might get on to you too. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Yeah. I
man,
mean, it's possible.
I'm opening back up in a lot
Yeah.
of ways to creating again. Back to that documentary, it was very cathartic for me. It
Mm-hmm.
allowed me to let a lot of that old shit go
Mm-hmm.
and realize that there's a purpose for this voice even, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not going to spoil the movie for you or the people that haven't seen it to tell you what I'm about to do with it uh, or not, you know. But now is the time for me to, it's my turn now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It really is, bro. There's a
Yeah.
reason why 35 years later, folks still have the interest they have in a guy after one record. It's
Yeah.
because that whole path was purposeful, and the
Mhm.
revelation behind me making this documentary is that time is right now.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I can't wait for it to come out. It's been over a year. So I mean, I can't go back and rewatch it or anything. So I definitely want to see it again. And I definitely want to share it with people, man. Like really um talk about it to other people. So that's what's up. Um Wanted to ask you about ghostwriting. Would you consider yourself the greatest ghostwriter
You know what,
in
bro?
hip hop?
It's a God thing. It's not a D.O.C thing. So I'm just
Hmm.
a ghostwriter in
Yeah,
in a field of a whole lot of them, and
yeah,
they
yeah.
are all of them are great.
Right.
But I'm a real good one. You can
Right.
believe it.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm not. I haven't gone through all the ghostwriters, but I'm telling you, you're definitely top five, and that's off the top of the dome without analyzing anyone else. So I gotta say that, and I could actually say more than likely you're definitely one or two. I think Jay-Z got some heat too. So it's definitely to me between y'all two right now. Maybe Mad Skills might have something to say about that, but we won't go too deep in the woods with it. Yeah.
Well,
But
you missing Ice Cube. You miss,
yeah,
you missing Side the Prince. Um,
yeah,
these are
yeah,
guys that are responsible for
yeah,
massive
yeah, yeah.
artists
You're right. Yeah,
records. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Massive records
you're
from a
right.
particular artist. But it's a lot of us out there, man. And
Mhm.
ghostwriting
Yeah.
shouldn't be frowned upon. You know, it shouldn't be. Uh,
Mhm.
it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be talked about as if it's a bad thing,
Mhm.
whether it's the person that's receiving the work or the person that's doing the work. This
Yeah.
is a machine that we all exist in together, and we are better together than we are apart. I used to tell folks all the time, it takes 5 fingers
Mm.
to knock a motherfucker the hell out. Excuse my bad language.
That's
But
right.
and just like in N.W.A, it took 5 guys, 6 guys to make those records what they were.
Yeah.
And hip hop is about being inclusive. It's all of us. We need to walk in this bitch. Damn, excuse my language. We need to walk in this thing together
Yeah.
and see if we can putting 1 or 2 of us in positions above the rest of us, and like they are the guys that are the ones that make it happen, because
Yeah.
it's all of us, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think hip hop gives a bad rap to people that use ghostwriters? You know, a lot of people use them now and really and have pretty much always used them. Do you feel, you know, that's one of the things in hip hop? Yo, you know, like I said, when I walked up to you, I said, I shook the hand of the guy who wrote da 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 da. Da," you know what I mean? So I'm thinking hip hop is really predicated on being a writer and a lyricist. Are we too hard on people that use ghostwriters?
I think so, right? It almost feels like sometimes those sports shows
Mm-hmm.
on ESPN where there were those analysts that weigh about 113 pounds. They get on there and tell you all of this information about these 265-pound guys that run a 4.6 and how they're not doing something right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, like
Mm-hmm.
what gives you the authority to even open
Yeah.
your mouth to say? So if you somebody that do that,
Yeah.
meaning you write this stuff, you sit down, you put your all into it, and you got something to say about somebody who maybe doesn't, then
Yeah.
that's different. But
Yeah.
media, the guys behind the microphones just giving their two cents about it.
Yeah.
I take that with a grain of salt, bro.
Yeah. What so my one of my best friends wanted me to ask you this, and he wants you to brag. He does not want you to be humble about this question. He said, where does the grand finale and again, this is again you know, making you put your stuff above everybody else. But the grand finale is an incredible record. Where does it rank in the hierarchy of posse cuts to you? And you you could you could say you could, you know, you don't have to be humble about it.
It's up there.
It's
It's
up
up
there.
there. It's
Yeah,
up there. Scenario. Uh, the symphony.
yeah,
uh, N.W.A.'s
yeah,
last song,
yeah. The last song.
and parental discretion. And
Yeah. People
and
forget about parental expression. You jumped that one off.
that was my first time rapping on,
Yeah,
and the grand finale, those are all great records, man.
yeah,
Like that's what we do,
yeah,
for the
yeah,
folks, and especially when you get a lot of us together that are dope.
yeah,
That's what made me so happy about going to California in the first place.
yeah,
I got a chance to be with 3 or 4 of the greatest up and coming young acts that there were
yeah,
at that time.
yeah,
Me, Cube, Dre, and Ren
yeah,
were birds of a feather,
yeah,
and we were intent on killing the game, and
yeah,
we did a really good job.
yeah. You said in another interview you battled Cube a lot. Did you know how did those battles go?
We don't just, hey, bro, let me buy. I don't know if he was battling, but I was. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
because I thought I was that guy. When
Yeah.
I got to California, I was doing things that those guys weren't doing yet
Mm-hmm.
because I was a child of the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing what they was doing,
Yeah.
and I was doing what they was doing at a pretty high level. So
Yeah.
those guys in LA was like, damn, this food is hard. And
Yeah.
so, but Cube was a different breed. And when I came and started laying it down, it felt like that dude kicked his shit up a few notches, and every time he kicked his up, I had to kick mine up, and we kept, going back and forth. And still today, my brother and I have so much love and respect for the men that we are, because we're still those same kids trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. How hard was it the death row situation? You've talked about that quite a bit. How hard that was. You weren't you weren't a gangster. You just weren't. And you didn't even really curse in records all that much. And then you get into this situation where you and Dre start a company that eventually turns into Death Row, and you're not included in the business, the ownership of it all. How did you sort of stay in a good space with those folks that you continued to work with? How did you reconcile that?
Well, it was really the only thing I had. You know, uh, I was really too ashamed to go home, um, so I didn't have anywhere to go. I had to figure out how to make that work,
Right.
uh, and so I was never any real harm's way, even
Right.
though it was always around me 24/7.
Right.
Uh, and you know as well as I know, history has taught us now that it never happens to the instigators. It always happens to the good guy
Yeah,
on the side next to the guy.
that's a
You know
fact.
what I'm saying? And so I know death could happen to me at any time, but
Uh,
God had another purpose.
yeah.
And everything is purpose. That's why everything is purposeful for me now. You
Yeah.
know, you can't barter
Yeah.
with me with my integrity. You can't buy me with money because I've never had the money. You
Right.
know, and so and God said, I know you've never had the money. I'm gonna get you that money. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
get you way more money than you ever thought you was
Yeah.
gonna get. So I'm gonna believe that promise and keep going on this path that I'm going. Even when these folks who have started to come and talk to me about money, it's when I don't listen to your words now. I can see the spirit in your
Mhm.
conversation. And if you're not coming from the same place that I'm coming from, then I know you're not. You know, this thing that I'm doing ain't for you.
Yeah, that's dope. Did you have I just interviewed Mo Preem. I'm not thinking about Matulu Shakur, but I interviewed Mo Preem. Were you were you he talked about leaving the situation around death row, just it was he had a child and it was just too much. Did you experience those types of moments when you just I know you had Helter Skelter around 96, and you did kind of bounce at that point. Was it just being fed up, or was it the safety issues, or you know
No, it was never safety issues. It was just that I was tired of losing. You know,
yeah,
I couldn't figure out how to win. Now I'm living in a mansion.
right,
I'm
right,
driving Ferraris and I got a pocket full of money, but I'm
yeah,
losing,
mm,
like the game of life.
right, right,
And nobody's helping me figure out how to win
right,
in the game of life. So
yeah,
I just got fed up and said I gotta go, and so I left.
mhm. Did you ever work with Tupac at all?
I worked with Tupac on one song with MC Breed called "Gotta Get Mine."
Oh
Uh,
man, yo, wait a minute. Did you help write that song?
yep, I helped write that record.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you specifically, did you help write Tupac's part?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
Okay. All right.
Tupac and Breed didn't need my help either. I think
Okay.
Breed was just an angel that was sent here, because
Okay.
Breed is the reason I left in the first place, L.A.
Yeah.
He said he came in and to a party, and I was in one of those rooms in the back. I was probably high as hell on something, and he was like, "Nah, bro, you can't do this." And he took me back to Atlanta with him the next day, and
Wow.
I stayed with him about 4 months and cleaned up. And even though I eventually went back to LA,
Yeah.
when I really got fed up, Breed's house is where I ran to Atlanta.
Rest in peace to Breed.
Absolutely.
And I was just asking that because that's literally one of my favorite, like probably my favorite verse from Tupac. That song, yeah, that's he spazzed on that one. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yo, he was
yeah,
he loved him some breed, and
yeah,
he always tripped the hell out when he got to Atlanta, bro.
yeah,
He had the time of his life, you know. And see, I was running away from that, you know, and so he brought that energy.
yeah,
And I was like, man, you know, sit down some goddamn well, you know. We ain't got to beat up every goddamn body, but he was crunk up, you know. That was his nature.
yeah,
But I understood that out there in LA, you know, you live by the gun, you die by the gun, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Facts, straight up. Who did you want to go bar for bar with? I'm kind of talking specifically the East Coast, because the way you rapped, it felt like you were competing with somebody, and it's clearly not someone we know. You know, at the time, you know, a lot of lyricists were like super fast rhymers, like G Rap and Kane. I know you like Slick Rick a lot. Was there anybody in particular who you were going at, like not literally dissing or anything, but just like this is for them?
So when my record came out, bro, and I'm gonna be really honest,
Mhm.
when my record came out, no one could do it better. I thought that I was the best MC on the planet. I thought nobody could touch me. And the
Mhm.
person I was trying to handle at that time was Cool J. He was my nemesis, right?
Oh, okay.
Because in my mind's eye, when I really got the bug to rap, it was around the time Crush Groove made it to Dallas. And
Mm-hmm.
Run was the guy that I patterned my whole dynamic after.
Mm-hmm.
And when Crush Groove came out, Cool J seemed like he was about to be the next Run.
Right.
And that made me mad. Like
Right.
he's taking my spot, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And
Right.
so I wanted my record to be better than his record, you know?
Right.
And so if I was battling anybody, it was Cool J.
Yeah.
But but I had, since that time, I had heard, uh, like you said, Slick Rick and Rakim and Kane and Cool G Rap and KRS and those guys. And so I sort of morphed from being where I was battling one guy, where I was just trying to be better than all those guys,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and incorporating all the things that I thought that made them great
Yeah.
into me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Wow. That's crazy. Um.
But
You.
I gotta say this:
Uh-huh.
in the years that passed, I've since then run across LL a few
Mhm.
times, and there's no one in this game that I respect more um, from the East Coast than LL Cool J
Yeah.
for what he has done, for what he has brought, and for what
Mhm.
he means as a black man that came up in this world doing everything the right way.
Right.
Uh, he is the guy for
Yeah.
me, and I'm glad that I chose him to
Yeah.
have to want to rumble with,
Yeah.
because you couldn't choose nobody better than that.
No, that's an absolute fact. In fact, I'm going to the Rock the Bells festival this weekend. He's
Yeah, bro.
got a whole festival now.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, he's that guy. He's that guy. Something else people asked me to ask you was and I actually want to know this too. Actually, my question about funky enough. What are you saying in the beginning? Rastafari Madaf. What are you saying?
Bro, I have no clue. None. Not even a little bit. Like when Dre was making the beat, the story behind that song was when we, you know how you in the studio and everybody's doing their own thing, and I'm
Mhm.
just listening to records,
Yeah.
and stumbled across that misdemeanor sample.
Mhm.
And I had Dre, oh my God, Dre, listen to this. And he listened to the song and tried to find a way to sample it, but he couldn't. So
Right.
he said, there's no room. I can't sample it. That was all he did back then, you know.
Mhm.
And so this is a turning point for Dre, I think, as well.
Right.
Because I bugged him so much the second week, the third week, this is the one.
Right.
He said, okay, F it. I'll just play it over. And he said, you got something to it? I said, yeah, but I didn't, you know.
Okay.
And so he played the joint all over, and it was just dope. And he called for me, and me and a friend of mine named Laylaw, R.I.P.
Oh yeah, above the law, of course.
We had been smoking and drinking that whole day, and Dre was really PO'd when he found out, right? I said
Right.
I could piece some stuff together, and he found out that I didn't have the words. He was angry, so I was really trying to show him something. So he said, just go lay something, and that way I could match it to the finish the track out. So I went in there and he turned the button on, and then I'd been drinking all day, smoking. So when he turned the beat on, the beat in my head said, "That's a Jamaican beat." And so when it came out, that's just what came out. And what the Jamaican said, I have no idea. Now,
Right.
the rap itself were bits and pieces of raps that I had written over
Right.
a 6 or 7 month period that went to 2 or 3 different songs. I
Wow.
just stuck them all together. And it's actually places in that song where I'm not saying nothing. I'm just to a
Right.
rhythm because it
Yeah.
sounds like that's why,
Right.
y'all don't know. And so, yeah, man, that's where it all came from. God bless the Old English 800 because that's what happened.
So Old English made you rap Jamaican, basically. Oh man, that's crazy. I should mention when I was, I used to rap a little bit, little something something, and me and my boys we did a song, and I had a horrible Jamaican rap, but it was all because of you. I was trying to do like you. It was horrible. I mean, I was thinking about saying it to you, and I was like, nah, I'm not even. I can't even do that to me or you. It was bad though. There's a video of it somewhere. If I get the video, I will let you see it though. I
Yeah,
will.
yeah, you gotta let me check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Um. So, are you getting any flack from the Biggie Smalls Ice Cube conversation? You've
No,
kind of nah, nothing at
no,
all.
I don't, bro. It's one thing I don't get. It's flat.
Mm, flack.
'Cause
Gotcha.
I don't approach it like that.
Yeah.
Well, let me take that lie back. Every now and then, somebody will say something really disrespectful in one of the comments somewhere, but
Mm,
I let that go right over my
yeah.
head because I know what I meant when I said it. And
Hmm.
one thing I'm not gonna do is argue with a fool because that's gonna make two fools.
Yeah. If Ice Cube ever if Ice Cube mentioned you in No Vaseline, would you have said anything? Would you ever? Because N.W.A didn't respond at all, which is weird to me.
Yeah, well, maybe they knew better.
Mm,
I wouldn't have said nothing either if
yeah.
I was them. Of course, if I was D.O.C. and I had my voice, then
Mm,
we talking about another story.
yeah.
I'd have got in that ass, you
Right.
know,
Right.
a quick,
Yeah.
fast, and in a hurry. But uh, that wasn't my fight, and
Mhm.
he was in the right. And 9 times out of 10, the right is gonna win, bro, because
Yeah.
you got the right on your side.
Yeah.
They was making up. They were make that song. They were making up things about Cube. Cube
Yeah.
was telling you real things
Yeah. Yeah.
about them. That's why it stung. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
You. Go ahead.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say some of so let me give you some little context here. So when I kind of more or less first got in the game, I was writing about everything. So the Helter Skelter album is one that I liked, Erotic D, and I enjoyed that album. Even with your voice issues and stuff. Some of what Cube was talking about was sort of mentioned in that album a little bit. Maybe not as harsh, not as bad as like No Vaseline, but it seemed like you expressed a lot of frustration and you know, I don't know if animosity is the right word. Obviously, you've repaired those relationships, it's particularly with Dre. How did you manage to, first of all, kind of get through that period and then repairing it as you went forward?
So what a lot of folks don't know, uh, well, I can't see a lot of this stuff. I don't want to, because it's in the movie. I don't want folks
Okay,
to
gotcha, gotcha.
not get that thing. But uh, you know, when Dre and I have fights, you know, they're kind of legendary. You know, we go after it. You know what I mean? And because he's my brother and I love him,
Yeah,
and we make up the same way. You know,
yeah,
we come in the room together and we put it all on the table, and and after that's done, it's past. You know, it's history. There's no need to talk about it anymore,
right.
because we both understand that we are brothers who love each other.
Mhm.
And we were in a situation where, as young men, uh, we had to look out for ourselves in different ways, you
Yeah,
know. And so that dude took care of me for a long time, man. So I
yeah,
can't, what can I say, you know?
yeah,
And vice versa. You know, I helped take care of him in a lot of ways that people probably aren't aware of, you know. And
yeah.
so we tied to the hip for this ride.
Mhm.
And I take that personally, you know,
Yeah.
because I learned a lot from that dude.
Mhm.
And I'm sure I gave him a lot. And all those other people, all the other variables in that story, whether it be Easy or Cube or Suge or
Mhm.
Doggy Dog, those are all pieces of the puzzle that helped us both become the men that we are today.
Yeah.
And I'm proud. I'm proud of my guy. He's
Mhm.
done so much great things in this business. He's helped so many people become millionaires and some billionaires. You
Yeah.
know that. Um, my time is going to come, and then when my time comes, he's going to be there just like he's always been. I mean, you saw the film. You've never seen Dre like that.
Yeah.
You never see Dre
Yeah.
communicate like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or Eminem. You never see
Absolutely.
those guys and stuff like that. You know.
Listen, let's be clear. There is a moment where Eminem is totally enamored with, you know, mind blowing. And it's a specific song is mind blowing, which, by the way, nobody quite got. You know, we all know the first part, and then that last part, we're like, by the punk, and then we're like, well, what does he say after that part? But yeah, so it's kind of amazing when you really think about it, you know, because Eminem is a top tier MC. Everybody you know, really acknowledges him, and then for him to acknowledge you in that way is amazing. How does that feel?
Oh, it was. You know, it's everything. You know, I love and respect him
Mhm.
for his gift, man,
Yeah,
at this thing that we both love.
yeah,
Has nothing to do with what skin color he is or uh, what opportunities he may have been afforded because of that.
mhm,
Because when it all breaks down, for me, you got to write the rap, bro. That's
yeah,
first. And he
yeah,
did the hell out of it.
yeah,
Time and time and time and time and time again. And I actually sat and watched him write
mhm,
once. And when I tell you, the sound that comes out it's got to be as crazy as the sound that's inside,
yeah.
because what he wrote, first of all, the shit was so little, I couldn't make out one single word.
Right.
But the whole thing was in a design that went in the infinity circle, right? It kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The whole rap was like that. And I was like, what is it? It just either this dude is a genius or he is really psychologically unbalanced, or maybe both. I don't know. You know,
Right. Yeah.
but I dug it, you know, and I rock with him to the end.
What do you think about his? I don't know if you heard it, but he went at Grandmaster Melly Mel in a rap with his new artist Easy Mill, and he took exception to what Melly Mel said in the past in the interview. What do you think of that? Mel is, he's a goat too.
Oh, and no question about it. There is no any of us without Mel.
Yeah.
But I think Mel was voicing his opinion, and he's a gladiator in this sport as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he should have known. If he thought the little kid was going to be afraid of him, you can't. You can only push the little guy around so long before he feels like he's in a corner and got to do something, And so I think that Eminem did what he thought he was supposed to do, and I stand by him and what he did. I don't know whether Melly Mel took shit. That's not my concern. They writing raps, and so I look forward to Melly Mel and see what he got to say after that. Maybe that'll bring Mel back to the forefront in a way where he can get in and get his point across.
Yeah, we should that'll be interesting if Melly Mel responds. That'll be
that's what all this shit is about. It's not about taking offense and putting your dukes up. Pull your pen out. Let's make it do what it do.
Yeah. No, that'll be very interesting. Now I know I don't want to assume anything, but AllHipHop started everybody asking people who their top 5 dead or alive is. Now I'm gonna guess, and I'm not and correct me if I'm wrong, but you may not want to give us your top 5 dead or alive. Is that accurate?
No, I don't deal in top 5s. I had at one point, but Chuck said starting 5. Now I can do that.
Okay, let's do that.
Starting 5. Player coach D.O.C.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Doggy Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Wayne.
Lil Wayne. Okay.
Big and Pac.
Big and Pac. Okay.
That's my start 5.
That is 5. Nice 5. All right. I got one more. I think I got about one more. I got a couple more. Actually, I gotta ask you this. And I got a couple more questions.
I gotta make this. I want to say I'm about to make this the last one. I got this thing. I'm at my barbershop right now in his office. I got this thing with Killer Mike.
Okay.
We taping this community segment, and we're promoting Michael here in Dallas.
Okay.
So I'm doing that in about 5 minutes in the other room.
Okay.
So one more great one.
Tell him I said what's up, Chuck from AllHipHop.
I will, brother.
All right. What's going on with your Cowboys? That's my last question. I'm a Eagles. Where my Eagles hat? Where my Eagles stuff at?
Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it.
Look. Listen. Oh man, I'm trying to find my Eagles stuff. I don't have it, but my Randall Cunningham is right there. Right there.
I gotta respect that. But still, boo.
So look, check it out.
You guys.
I'm gonna challenge you because we were talking about coming to Dallas for that Eagles game.
That's right. Come on. We're gonna sit in the coach's box and eat some barbecue Eagle wings, baby.
I don't know. Not if Dak's the quarterback. I don't think so. They cursing him out already.
That's how you get it right. That's how you get your brother right. Get your brother right.
Right. That's true.
Man. Diggs know what he's doing. Get that boy right. Let's go.
Hurts is ready too.
No, he's a baller. He is a champion. No question about it. But we gonna kick his champion ass when he comes down.
I love it. Yo, brother, I appreciate you so much, man. Hopefully we can get this documentary out. Let's get this thing out, man, to the people. Then you do your world tour, and then we'll do an in-person interview.
All love, man.
Yeah, man.
God bless
Thank you so
you.
much, brother. Appreciate you and all the work you do, man. We really didn't get into the community work as much as I wanted to and the kids and stuff, but I really do want to say this, man. You know, I appreciate you, man, and the work of the Lord is working through you, and that is amazing to see in the space that the world is right now.
I'm here anytime for you, Chuck. Call me anytime. I'm prepared.
All right. Thank you. Have a
Blessings,
good
man.
one. All right. Peace.